All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there's a lot of drama surrounding MrMattyPlays, who is a YouTuber that focuses on video games and game reviews and whatnot. And there's a lot of drama because there was leaks for Dragon Age the Veilguard about 12 to 24 hours before the embargo lifted on the 28th. So it happened the day before. And a lot of the leaks that were happening, people realized that the Rook, the character that was being used in the leaks, is the exact same character that MrMattyPlays had. It was a one-for-one, and it's very difficult to pull that off in a game where, number one, you could customize your character, and number two, how are you going to know what someone's character is going to look like before they actually release their review? So this happened beforehand, and people put it together, and they realized, is this you? And now it's gotten to the point where MrMattyPlays has now had to make an official statement on the entire nonsense.
Plead the fifth. 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
So let's get into this video, guys. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, I read this statement, and I'm going to read it again to you guys live on video. But let me tell you, this thing is an absolute meltdown, okay? I have never seen somebody melt down this much over potentially losing their access. And this is the reason why I can never be a shill, will never be a shill, no matter how much someone may want to pay me. I don't care. I will never be a shill, because looking at this man melting down just gives me all the affirmation that I am doing things the right way for me. You know what I mean? Maybe other people is different, but for me, I'd rather just be authentic to myself and buy whatever games that I want to review my own money, so that I don't have to be tied down by a corporation. And the moment that corporation potentially turns their back on me, I lose everything, right? Like I'm just not going to ever let a company have that level of power over me. But let's get into the statement. So it says, I think it goes without saying, but today has been an extremely hard day. I really appreciate your patience as I looked into things. And again, I don't really know what there is to look into. Either you did it or you didn't, but it seems like we're going to get an entire story as to why he did. First off, I would like to apologize to everyone at BioWare and EA. I have already reached out to them to let them know the truth. We already have plans to sit down and have a conversation about it. That is my gameplay. It was never my intention for clips of Dragon Age to get released ahead of the embargo lifting. I had shared these 2 clips of the game with an editor of mine. It is to my understanding that these clips were then taken, shared again, and went down the chain to someone far removed from the both of us, who then posted them claiming to be associated with me. So yes, the clips are mine. If BioWare, EA, or any other game company chooses not to work with me over this, then I fully understand and accept that. If you, the viewers of my content, choose to not trust me because you deem me irresponsible with the privilege I was given as a game reviewer, I also fully understand and accept that. Now, I understand he's trying to disconnect himself from the person who leaked everything, because apparently the account that leaked everything was extremely racist. Again, I didn't see the account at the time, and I believe now the account is banned, so I can't even go back and look at it. But from what I understand, people were saying it was a very racist account. Even the name of the account was very racist. But again, I don't really know, because people throw around the word racism, as we know, like nothing, and it loses all meaning, so it's hard for me to understand. But that's what I got from the understanding of it. So I understand that he's trying to separate himself from that and say, well, it's a friend of a friend of a friend of a friend. Actually, it's not even a friend. It's kind of just a friend of a friend of a friend. It just like keeps going down and down and down until eventually they try to remove themselves completely from it. But at the end of the day, man, you shared it with somebody who shared it with somebody else, who eventually got to somebody who's a friend of theirs. So you are linked to this to some way, shape, or form, and they must know either you or a friend of yours, which makes you wonder again, how did this even happen in the first place? Why did they think it was okay? Why did they think it was okay to leak the content and risk you, right? Because it is risking you. It was your Rook. It was so obvious to catch, and everybody caught on to it. They must have known that this was going to put you in the spotlight. But I guess nobody really thinks that far. With that said, it's extremely important for me to firmly shut down one element of this narrative going on around about me. Whoever shared these clips on X with the attached hateful comments and replies is not me. I have no clue who runs that account. They are most definitely not my friend, and they stand against everything I believe in. I am only speculating, but I think whoever took my game footage and tweeted about it as if they were connected with me was quite deliberate, as it's an easy way to paint me in a bad light. Now, makes you wonder again, if they're doing that and they're trying to paint you in a bad light and they got this footage from one of your friends, it has to be, right? It has to be from one of the people that you shared it with. It just trickles down. At the end of the day, if this is the case, then it makes you wonder about the friends that you keep, right? Because the friends that you keep are trying to tear you down. That's the only reason I would see this happen. Otherwise, why do what's going to so obviously get hatred towards your way? Why do this, knowing that it's going to happen? Beyond any guesses I may have, I would never leak my own footage on an alt account and then use that exact same footage in my review. Said account no longer exists, and it is my understanding that it is because it was reported multiple times following the public ridicule that it rightfully received. There's no room for that type of hate. So again, I'm imagining that this thing was a very racist account, or probably most likely, because let's be real, like MrMattyPlays is a shill at the end of the day, and sure, he could try to be as objective as he wants, but he is ran by these corporations, right? Because you could see from this meltdown that you're about to witness that he feels like he's going to lose everything over this, which I can understand the feeling. I get it. It fucking sucks, especially when it's not necessarily your fault. But at the end of the day, it's still just, it goes to show, man, letting them have this level of power over you is never good. But anyway, so it says, it also needs to be said that I have not deleted any comments on my review. I believe as a consumer of media, you have a right to call someone out on bullshit or say what you feel. I do have preset words for my channel filters that fall under racist, homophobic, etc. terms that automatically gets caught by YouTube's moderation system, but that's it. Now, the funny thing is that you don't even have to set anything, right? You don't have to censor any words because YouTube will automatically do it anyway. So like the fact that you went the extra step to make sure that certain words aren't seen is a little bit ridiculous because, again, YouTube does it anyway, but whatever. The man can run his channel the way he wants to. I don't care. I can't tell him how to run his channel. I just find it ironic. I know I can't convince each and every one of you, but I do think you all deserve an explanation. At the end of the day, my circle of trust was breached, and it was my fault for sending a clip in the first place. And that's what I was saying, right? So it has to be in your circle to some extent. You have to understand that even though it got, domino affected and it went down the rabbit hole, it still is somebody in your circle to some extent, right? One of your friends gave it to someone with ill intentions, and they use those clips in a very ill-mannered way, and it got you in trouble. So you got to look at your circle again and understand there's a hole there somewhere. Now we get to the meltdown of this. This is where it gets really ugly. It says, I'm deeply disheartened by the amount of people who believe that this Twitter account was me. I don't expect blind loyalty, yet it hurts to see just how quickly I was thrown under the bus. Welcome to the internet, man. The sad reality of it all is that the damage is done, and many people have made up their minds about me today. Since I have started covering this game, many angry opinions have fallen in my lap. When I played the preview, I thoroughly enjoyed it and had a chance to interview the game's director, Corin Bush. Of course you did, like a good little shill. On that video, people were sending hate my way because they wanted their opinions heard. Now I have put out my honest and objective review, and people are still unhappy with my personal opinion. It has always been my goal to deliver fair, honest coverage of video games and elevate the conversation, not fan the flames. Well, see, here's the thing, right? It doesn't matter. You trying to ride the middle by being honest, objective, whatever, you trying to ride the middle, whether by being truthful about it or not, right? Let's say you're trying to ride the middle because you're lying about it. Okay. Or let's say you're trying to ride the middle because you're honest about it and that's where you truly believe you're at. Okay. At the end of the day, you're still the enemy of the people who are using this game as an ideological battleground. You still are. Like they're not looking for you to ride the middle. They're looking for you to be unequivocally on their side and talk about how trans lives are amazing and you need to bend the knee to all of it. That's what they're looking for. And if you don't bend the knee to the trans ideology, or if you're not happy with the injection of modern day in Dragon Age, well, you could just get out. They're going to cancel you. It's all the same thing. And to be honest with you, that's probably what's happening here to an extent. And then it says, I'm deeply sad that my clips have played into the detraction of the game that, as stated in my review, others may enjoy more than me. Looking at the open critic score, I'm glad to see it is that way. It's not that way, right? So let's be honest here. The critic score doesn't mean a damn thing. We all know this. Most gamers don't even utilize the critic score in any meaningful way. Most people use YouTubers in a more meaningful way than actual critic scores. Critic scores are bought and paid for, especially when it's a video game like this, where it is so ideologically driven and it is made from a studio that has a trans person at the head of the studio. Let's be real. They're never going to talk bad about this game. We all saw this coming, and we all called the scores before they even came out in the first place. I said that IGN was going to give it a 9 out of 10. I said it weeks before they gave it a 9 out of 10. It's so obvious that this is what they were going to do. They need this game to be a commercial success, no matter what. Then it says that it's been a tough cycle for the folks at BioWare, and to know that I played a part in the pain of the developer who made my favorite games ever is a regret that I don't think I'll ever live down, even if people bro, what? Stop the meltdown. This man is pretending as if he leaked fucking, governmental documents. Like, stop. Stop it. It's a video game, my guy. Like, you're acting like you leaked gameplay a year in advance and ruined the surprise. Like, no, bro. You leaked gameplay 12 hours before the embargo lifted. Nobody cares, bro. Nobody cares in any meaningful way. And the people that are coming after you at Twitter are only doing it because they want to weaponize against you, because they want to take you down. You got people who are jealous. You got people who are envious, and they constantly want to see big YouTubers burn, because you have people out there that desperately want to be able to have a job like that, but don't have the skill or the capability or the knowledge or just the know-how in order to even do it in the first place, or the charisma. They just can't do it. So they get mad and want to tear you down, and any opportunity they can to get you to get taken down, they're gonna jump on it. Why wouldn't they? They're haters. I want to thank my wife, my best friends, here we go with the award speech, and my LSM family who hung with me and didn't lose faith in me. The statements made about my character today have broken my heart into a million pieces. My God, the absolute meltdown is insane. I don't say that you feel bad for me. I just feel it's important to give my love to those who willingly stood by me in the face of all of this. I know it wasn't easy having your ethics in question just by being in my vicinity. And lastly, I'm not going anywhere. I'll be continuing to make content about games across MrMattyPlays, Retro Rebound, Defining Duke. I will also continue to pretend I know what I'm talking about when it comes to movies on Retro Rewind. Hopefully I will see you there. If not, thanks for taking the time to read this, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Matty. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, this tweet has 1 million views. It is growing, consistently. And I feel like this is such a massive meltdown for what is otherwise nothing serious, right? I really don't think it's anything serious. And again, I didn't see the account that was posting the content, and I'm sure it had some interesting things to say. Let's just put it like that. But at the end of the day, man, it's the fucking internet, man. I'm tired of people getting offended over the most nonsensical garbage. We're all talking about Dragon Age the Veilguard. That's what we're focusing on. And all this apology nonsense, all this gaslighting, all this crap that you see in this statement, at the end of the day, Dragon Age the Veilguard is a game that is in fact injecting modern day nonsense into it on a mass scale. I'm not even talking a small scale. On a mass scale, it is 100% doing it, and it's a conversation that needs to happen. And whether you started that conversation, or you're ending that conversation, or you're continuing the conversation, it doesn't matter. The conversation has to happen, because nothing gets changed by putting your head in the sand and pretending like nothing is happening. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. Hope you did enjoy it. If you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.